everybody. Welcome to the PVD Horror Podcast. I am Dave. I'm joined here with Brandon and our very special guest, the one, the only, the Horror Queen. Hailing out of New Jersey, we have Krista here. Krista, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So, when it comes to like the social media and everything like that, like we were talking about before, like you're an OG in the game of the horror community. And so what do you love and what do you hate about the horror community so far, like on social media, since you've been a part of it?
I love all the friends that you meet. A lot of people with the same interests end up kind of connecting. I feel like a lot of us don't really have as many people in real life to connect with over our love of horror. So it's nice to reach out, make new friends, meet up places. And kind of sparks a lot of lifelong friendships too, opens up opportunities. I would say the dislikes would be the drama, like any, anime, gaming. It's always in every, but there's a lot of good in it, with the band.
Yeah. And it's because we've been in the game since 2018, but we had profiles like separate. And so I think that was the thing when we met like a lot of different people, like you're like a friend that you have in common, like Chris, that's how I started to see your profile and everything kind of pop up. And so like you said, the community definitely is growing. And so that was the thing with us. We set out just to kind of like make a podcast, and then we end up just making like a true life community for people back here in Rhode Island, where we have movie nights and pop-ups and stuff like that. So yeah, the horror community is just like it's a great community, but like you also said, there's a lot of drama. But I have to say, like on our end, we haven't really ran into too much drama. Like I think it was kind of like when we first started off, but I think there's a lot of people that are kind of like positive and stuff like that. And like I said, like you're one of the positive people that we follow, and so we appreciate you coming on.
Oh, wait, thank you. And I definitely have to thank Chris, because I would have never even made the profile if it wasn't for him.
Yeah. Now, we all share this crazy love for horror, like we were just talking about. I want to know, when was your first time like you ever watched a horror film? Like, what was that experience like?
So I can't even count it as a horror film really, because it's more sci-fi. But the first time I remember being absolutely terrified by a movie was when I was like 3 or 4. And my grandma decided it was a great idea to watch Fire in the Sky.
Okay.
And absolutely horrific, and made me think aliens were coming to get me. But then like my dad was always kind of into spooky stuff. We would always watch Addams Family, Monsters. He would always like play tricks on everyone and try to scare you. So then I started getting a little more curious about movies. So then the first actual horror movie would be like Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 7. And I was like so enamored with it. Like I was like, what is this? This is so cool.
That's crazy though, because I think like all 3 of us have like the same thing in common. Like all 3 of us were put onto horror by our grandmothers. So so yeah, when I tell that to people, they're like, your grandmother watch horror? I'm like, yeah. Then that's like how I just became like a big fan. Like she would just have me watching like fucking Basket Case. The first movie she had me watch was Waxworks. And so my God. So it's like from there, it's just like going on. Dave, how did your grandmother get you involved?
She was like watching Alfred Hitchcock. I remember watching Psycho with her. It was like a lot of black and white. Vincent Price. We used to have this cassette called Creepy Classics, and I would watch that all the time when I would go visit her. And she's hilarious because she used to watch movies like this and with her eyes, hands over her eyes, because she was so scared, but she loved it, and that made me kind of love it too. But it's funny though, because like also at a young age, like movies that aren't really horror but like are kind of scary kind of get you into horror as well. Like you said, Fire in the Sky. I remember watching that, and that was kind of like chilling to think like alien abduction. But like even David Lynch films when I was younger, I think kind of like the creepiness at Twin Peaks. My family would watch that, and I would just hear that theme song, and it just drew me into like creepy dark stuff. So I was like, because I loved being scared from that theme song, and that kind of just built my love for horror even more.
Now, I think I already know this question, but it's like, what is your favorite horror movie? I don't want to hear any like fake answer or something. I want to know like the cheesiest horror movie that you just love. Like it just makes you, it puts you in that moment where you're just like, oh man, like, you know, even if it's like a guilty pleasure or something like that, like what is it?
I mean, I think everybody knows my favorite horror movie is Pieces.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what was that experience like watching that film for the first time for you, and what makes it like so great to you?
It's just, I mean, I love absolute trash. Like
Yeah.
I love slasher movies. I love horrible movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so perfectly bad.
Yeah.
Like certain scenes make no sense. Like some of like the kills are great, but like, you know, the knife bend, like there's just so many silly elements in it. It's so perfect. I don't know. It's just such a great watch. It's so much fun.
It is perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like sometimes people, I know people get caught up and they think they have to have like these high levels of like great films, you know, and then that makes who you are. And like even just trash these days is just what makes us too. Because I remember going back and then watching like Sorority House Massacre 2 when I was younger. I watched it. It was on like Showtime, and I remember watching it, and I never knew the name of the title because back in the day, like you couldn't see, you didn't have like
There's no
buttons to
guide.
kind of see what it was, and then so rewatching it again, I'm like, oh shit, this is part two. This is like so different from the first one. Like you don't even think that the sequels will match up, and it's just like, oh shit, like it's so crazy though. But yeah, definitely, I love trash movies, but like you know, I love great films too, like you know Friday the 13th and things like that. But that's cool though, you know. Pieces is your favorite movie because you know we'll get the same answers all the time, like you know someone to say Halloween or anything like that.
But I feel like somebody that's like this, like us as like social media like horror fan, diehard horror fans, if we were to come on somewhere and say like my favorite movie is Nightmare on Elm Street, people would be like, really? Like that's very cliche. So Pieces is an awesome answer because like that's so not cliche, and it's like, yeah, if you know Pieces, then you know you do know some horror. So that's kind of speaks for itself.
But also when it comes to like horror cosplay, I think like you're at the top of the game because you encourage others in the community to like be a part of it. And you also created this thing called HQ Slasher Week. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I can't take total credit because someone was definitely doing Slasher Week before me. I just kind of took it over. But slasher movies are my favorite subgenre. So I wanted to kind of take it over and revamp it as my own. So it is a full-blown week of just everyone, anything slasher related, whether it's just a movie or a cosplay or, you know, filming a scene or anything that could do with it. And I wanted to focus more on involving other people. Because that's what a lot of people said. They didn't feel involved. They didn't feel like part of something. So, I mean, I do my own cosplays and everything too, but I always do them in advance so that I can spend the whole week reposting every single like cosplay movie, everything I see, and just really focus on other people and then introducing new accounts so everyone can see these people. Maybe you didn't know them before, now you follow them, might be one of your best friends that you never would have met.
Now, out of all of them that you have done yourself, like what's your favorite one?
I was happy to finally get a Pieces one this year. I was very happy. That one was great. I definitely, probably the top favorite one was actually with Chris. He helped me film the Friday the 13th skit at the camp where the first Friday the 13th was filmed. And it was quick, fun, but like it just came out so good.
Did you do a curtains one?
I didn't. I want to.
I feel like I've seen that somewhere, and that, you know, the skating scene is just so like that imagery in that skating scene is amazing. So please do that this winter.
I want to so much.
All right. So now we like we said, we talked about the horror community and like kind of getting together to know people. What are some of your favorite memories attending like the horror conventions over the years?
I started going to them like early 2000s. And I was really shy then. I like wouldn't talk to anybody, anything like that. So I kind of took a break for a while, and then like 2018 really kind of came back full blown going to them. And I just met so many awesome people. Like, I love meeting guests, I love getting signatures, but really I just go for like friends, because so many people travel from out of state. Everyone's like in the same location. You spend like a whole weekend with all these people that you never get to see, and it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say getting beat up by Jason in the cosplay stuff that I saw. Like, I can't remember if that was last year or something, but you were.
That was a couple years ago, but we need to bring that back. We really do.
I was like, Jesus, is this real?
And that is all real. We don't do anything fake.
Yeah.
You were in like a sleeping bag at one point, right?
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, that was something.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with those.
So I mean, we used to go quite a bit, Brendan and I, and it's kind of unfortunate that I feel like, you know, COVID kind of took the wind out of our sails with going to those, because we were pretty much trying to go to every one that we could. But
yeah,
you know, I feel like we did the Monster Expo. Mark Patton was there and a few other people, and that kind of like sparked my my excitement about them again. It was small, but it was good because we had an opportunity to talk to a lot of people. So I kind of like that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last one I had gone to, well, before like the Monster Expo and everything, I had gone down to Monster Mania, but it was like the outdoor event one where Tom Atkins was there. And so, but it was hot as hell because I ended up going on that Sunday, but it was cool. Like, I was able to see a lot of different people from the community and kind of like, you know, talk to a few other podcasters and stuff like that. So it was cool. But like Dave said, you know, because of COVID, and like also we're from Rhode Island, so driving up to Jersey and stuff, that's like a 3.5 hour drive. So sometimes it's just like, and then we lost like a Rocket and Shock here and where was that? Fucking
the Framingham one?
Worcester. It was in Worcester, so we lost that. So but we'll see. Or usually things just kind of fall on the same day. We have our events like that we do for the community. So but we definitely want to kind of get back into that stuff and kind of see more people.
Monster Mania is coming up.
Yeah.
I'm only going if someone puts me in a sleeping bag and beats me up.
Be arranged.
So you do a podcast and you do some movie reviews. I mean, I've definitely checked them out, and you know, you were doing them on Instagram as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I started my friend does his podcast. He kind of touches on everything. And he doesn't watch a lot of like horror movies. He watches more modern. So he reached out to me, wanted to talk, you know, kind of bounce off each other because we have such opposite taste. So he was like, do you want to do a horror segment? I was like, yeah, sure. So we kind of started doing that. We really need to get back on it. It's been a while. But yeah, we started doing that and, you know, talking about remakes and 80s stuff, slashers. And then we started getting into kind of just everything that was coming out currently. And then sometimes I'll post here and there like a review. I feel like bad because I feel like if I post a full-blown review, it's too much to read.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, so I don't really put it in my captions. And then I started doing the VHS blogs for Catfight Coffee. So they have a little segment on all VHS type stuff, and it's kind of hard because most of us that have been like watching horror since we're kids, I feel like we know about movies, but a lot of people come to me that, you know, they know like Nightmare on Elm Street, they know Friday the 13th, but they don't know a lot of these old 80s, 70s, 60s movies. So I try to write them as if someone's like reading it for the first time, which is so hard because it's like, it's second nature, but I try to do that at least so they can get into it too.
So we've kind of, you know, we'll do like some like movie discussions, but sometimes I think we have a hard time doing reviews because I think we genuinely feel bad if we didn't like a movie, and it's hard for us to talk about it. Yeah. Because, you know, it's like, I think we just acknowledge like it takes a lot of time and effort to put something together and, you know, putting it out there. It's so sometimes I think we feel bad, but, you know, I give credit to people who can give an honest review and, you know, and not worry about it too much.
Yeah. I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
But that's the thing now. It's like, we have films kind of like thrown to us like before they come out, and like high level, low levels, all kind of all different tiers. But like, I come to kind of like respect everything of like people, just anyone that just creates a film, a movie or anything like that. It's just a lot of work that goes into it. And so it's just like now I kind of, because I would just trash movies all the time and then I didn't really care. But now it's just like, all right, well, this person did put this much work into it. This person would write it and had to get all these people on board. So I try to hold off on certain shit, but I usually tell people, message me and I'll tell you my
Yeah.
I'll tell you the
how I
real.
really
You're pretty infamous for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I've actually had like I watched a movie, didn't care for it. Then we like talked to the director or whatever. And then they were actually the way they explained it made me have a different appreciation for the film sometimes. So I'm like, I always have that in the back of my mind, like maybe, maybe what they were trying to say didn't get across or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Maybe we overthink it too. So that's probably more it. So we're in Rhode Island. We're about an hour away from Salem, and I'm pretty sure you've been to Salem, right?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
I already have like 3 more trips planned to go to Salem next year.
What's your favorite things about Salem? Because I mean, we go pretty frequently. I'll go like off season too, because it's a little bit less chaotic and stuff like that. And it's small, but there's a lot to do. So what are some of your favorite things to do there?
Yeah, I've never been there in October. Like I want to do it once in my life, but I feel like I have to prepare. Like it's just too much. So I usually go in like April, May, and then like during the summer and like very latest August into like the beginning of September. But like I just love the town. Like it just is like such a small town vibe, and like I feel like every store is so authentic. Like they do their own things, they make their own stuff. I'm like a bum. Like I've still have never gone to the Hocus Pocus house, anything. Everyone's like, you've been there a million times. I literally will go and like lay in the cemeteries all day. That's my favorite thing to do. And just relax. I love being outside. So I love doing that, going to the thrift stores, getting all the coffee, meeting up with friends.
Yeah. Which city thrift is that? Do you like
Absolutely.
that store? Yeah, it's a great store. It's right across from the witch house. So are you into the like the lore with like the Salem witch trials and the history behind that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like, I don't know like every little thing, and I'm not like super into it, but I like it's super cool to kind of find out new stuff.
Yeah. Some crazy,
like Dave said, well, we have to have you come one time in October because it's pretty crazy. I just went down this past October and I was with the Guts podcast, those guys in Houston. So that was their first time here. So it was cool. But like it's definitely different now because it's like they like shut the streets down a little bit more, and then like the parking's like more of an issue. And so they also have this thing called Salem Horror Fest. Have you heard of that before?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so they were so like against having it. They usually have it in October, but they're just against like having the streets and everything so busy that they actually moved it. I think it's going to be in the springtime this year, so you should probably definitely come down and check it out then.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
So you're infamous, obviously, for a VHS collection that is extensive and probably worth a ton of money. What's some of your like your gems?
Definitely pieces, but a lot of just the 80s movies that I love, like Edge of the Axe, Mutilator.
Nice.
What do I have behind me? I have Torso, Toolbox Murders, Hack-O-Lantern, all that stuff, Slime City.
Very cool.
But I like a lot of weird stuff too. Like my favorite movie that I got that I don't think anyone's ever watched ever is called like The Dingleberries. Hilarious. It's like alien poops.
Now, like Dave, so you're getting back into VHS.
Yeah. I mean, I am like infamous for I'm only thrift store VHSing, so I'm not paying over a certain amount because you'll never know what you're going to find at ours, like Savers or Salvation Army. So it's slow, but it's steady.
Mhm.
I got a couple of holiday horrors right here though. I got one of my favorite covers right there, the Silent Night Deadly
Okay, all
Night
right.
2. I just picked this one up. I actually haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure you guys probably
Oh,
both
I have
have.
that.
Shredder.
Yeah.
I just got it recently. This one, not my favorite, Silent Night Deadly Night, but part 3. I'd rather go for the Toy Maker, but I don't have that one in my collection yet.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone's been posting the collection for the Blu-ray that just came out. So was it 3, 4, and 5?
Yeah.
So I think
Brandon,
it's
you
out
just
of
picked up a couple of VHS. Show them off.
Yeah, I had to start over, man, because when I was younger, I had so many fucking VHSs, but my mom got rid of all of them, and so now I'm like, I'm not in that game where I'm like want to start off. But I had picked this up at one of our events. We had one of the guys through. It's the Howling 2 House.
Ding dong, you're dead.
But see, that's the thing. It's like physical media. That was like the main thing for me. It was just like I hate it streaming. Like my Blu-ray collection's like crazy. I just had to stop, like probably like a year ago. I'm like, I have no fucking more room for this shit, and I'm just like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I got hooked on to streaming
Yes.
over the years.
Here.
Yeah.
I'm looking. Back here.
Yeah, so
I love the box covers, but they take up a lot of room.
They do.
Yeah.
I'm working on like renovating and starting like even more of a storage for them because I have so much in boxes still. I have an entire other room of boxes of VHS.
Yeah.
There's so much everywhere. Yeah. Gotta have
nice. Ooh, that's good.
1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Clammy. We got To All a Good Night.
Nice.
All right.
Gotta have Black Christmas.
Beautiful.
2019.
Bubba Hotep.
Bubba Hotep.
Absolutely. Some Body Melt.
There you go.
And I'm such a sucker for like music, like tapes too. Like a whole bunch of like Typo and like Guar and all that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So do you sell yours as well? Like if you get duplicates or anything like that, or do you just kind of hoard them?
I don't really have duplicates. I usually will I'll sell them if someone wants to buy it. Like if I see one somewhere that someone wants, I'll buy it and then like they'll pay me, I'll just ship it to them.
Yeah.
Or if I sometimes I forget, like if I have something like especially like just common tapes, I'm like, ooh, and I ended up with like I think like 7 copies of like the X-Files movie, and I was like, oh my God, stop. So I'll just give them away.
Thrift store. That one's at every thrift store.
That and Titanic. I'm like, oh my God.
And Blair Witch. I've got so many copies of Blair Witch. It's insane.
And unpopular opinion, I don't like Blair Witch, but fighting words, I know.
Yeah. Do you have Christmas Evil?
I do. And I don't really like that movie either.
Watch it again.
It's okay, but it's probably my least favorite Christmas movie.
It's just watching a man spiral into his delusions is amazing. Watch it again in that framework and you can't go wrong. So actually I do a segment called Holiday Horror, Holiday Fear, and like do this for every holiday, but I was going to be doing one for Christmas. I'm going to do one just for like, because there was a bunch of Christmas, like now the big trend is obviously to put out holiday themed horror movies. I'm going to do one for the movies that came out this year. But what would be like your top all-time Christmas horror films?
Oh man, I just did this the other day. So here we go. Well, I did top 5 that I watched the other day. So number 1 is always going to be the original Black Christmas. I watched that so much in December, and I'm trying really hard to get this cosplay right for it. Really hard. It's not a movie, but I always watch Treevenge.
Yep, I keep hearing about it. Yeah.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2. I don't care about any other one, just 1 and 2, and they have to be back to back.
Not even the Toy Maker one. Come on.
No, I know. No. I do like the 2006 Black Christmas too. I just watched Krampus. always.
Yeah.
So it's a good one. And I'm trying to think, what was the other one that I put on there? Oh my God. I'm blanking out. I don't remember.
Christmas Evil. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
No!
That's our top 5.
Never. Dang, I don't remember what the other one was.
Jack Frost. You have Jack Frost playing behind you.
I do right now.
There you go.
We'll say that P2.
We'll say that.
P2.
Yeah, P2 is a classic. People usually don't pick up on that. They that it's a Christmas movie.
Better Watch Out. Would that be on the list?
Better Watch Out was definitely on the honorable mentions. And then someone reminded me that ATM exists, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Is that the one with Josh Peck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm embarrassed that I remember that, but all right. Well, thank you for sharing your holiday horror. If you remember it before we wrap up, just throw out the 5th one.
I probably won't.
Okay.
So it's up to
it's fine.
Someone else to decide.
Sure.
Dealer's choice.
So now you were going through your films, and then you had you said some music tapes popped up. What kind of music are you into, and what was your Spotify recap like this year?
Oh God.
If you have Spotify.
I have Spotify, but I barely use it. It's all over the place. I definitely listen to like a lot of like synthwave and like goth metal, but like I also listen to a lot of rap and like R&B and like it's all over the place. It's kind of just whatever I'm in the mood for.
That's cool. Yeah, 'cause I seen in your story he was like, oh, you got the what's her name?
Oh, Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole, yeah, because you was like,
I had to with
Keisha
this
Cole
hair. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Nah, that's cool. But yeah, because it's crazy because we started like a playlist because we had so many guests on, and I would always ask like, what kind of music they liked or what kind of music influenced them. We had so many people from like Tony Todd and everybody kind of give us like some like their top 3 songs that kind of inspired them through their career and everything like that. So do you have 3 songs that we can kind of get that playlist going back on?
3 songs.
3 songs. If you can't do it, give me your best one. Just give me one.
Damn, 3 songs?
Yeah, no pressure.
Nah,
that's a lot of pressure.
There's no pressure. Just pick one song in the entire library of music that exists in the world.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, totally. Oh man, that's really hard.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like asking these questions, because I'll have
like that could change 20 seconds from now.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Oh God, 3 songs. Dang, that's really hard. I mean, I could maybe do like 3 bands, 3 songs.
I'll take 3 bands.
All right. I mean, definitely Sisters of Mercy.
Okay.
Definitely Deftones.
Mm-hmm.
Guar, obviously.
Yep.
Oh my God. Definitely She Passed Away. Suspiria, Disjecta Membra. Oh man. There's so much.
Yeah, it's
there's
crazy.
So much. That question and people being like, so tell me about yourself makes me forget who I am.
Yeah, definitely. That's
your brain automatically freezes.
You're like,
like, who am I?
Your body just shuts down.
And not computes.
Well, that's cool. Well, so we got to know you, and so we got to know you, like the type of music you like, the kind of movies you like. So, like I said at the beginning of the episode, we're gonna focus on some of the best, worst, and so bad it's good horror films of 2022.
Oh boy.
It was a little hard for you to kind of name some music, but can you give me a list of some of the movies that you actually like this year?
Don't worry, I got my notebook right here.
Got the notebook.
Oh boy.
I got my notebook.
All right.
There were a lot of movies this year, and I feel like I didn't watch a lot of them. All right. Do you want likes or not likes?
Likes. Okay. Let's do likes.
You want to do likes first?
Oh, you want to do worst?
Yeah, you know what?
Let's do
Let's
worst
not,
first.
the worst
Oh,
first. No,
I was
Let's
thinking,
do likes. Let's
You wanna
do
do
yeah,
likes?
you guys
Alright, let's
started
do
off
likes.
positive.
We'll be
Positive
positive, and then
vibes.
we'll just like hate right in
Alright.
there. All right. All right. I'll start with ones that were like really tops that I absolutely loved. Because I feel like I didn't love a lot.
Yeah.
Terrifier 2.
Yeah.
Loved so much.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that
So
makes all of our
good.
lists, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I went to see it 3 times. So good. Nope.
Yep.
Loved it. Feel like a lot of people didn't. Don't care.
Exactly. Did you go to the theater and see it, or you seen it at home?
I did. I saw Terrifier 2 3 times in the theater, and I saw Nope 3 times in the theater.
All right. Now,
I went to the theater 3 times in the entire year.
Yeah, you fucking clown.
Oh my god.
I'm like, I don't want to go.
I don't want to go.
Did you see Nope in IMAX or just the regular theater?
Just regular.
I'm gonna tell you this because it's like when I first seen Nope, I had seen it in IMAX, and that fucking scene where like everything is going through like the alien and shit, and it's like I'm sitting there, it just makes you feel like so claustrophobic, and it's like I'm sitting there like what the fuck, and like I'm having a hard time breathing. And then when I seen it in the theater on a regular screen, I didn't get that same effect. So if you know, I think that seeing that movie in IMAX, it definitely changed like the whole layout for that film. So
Wow. Let me see. Let me cross off Terrifier. Let me cross off Nope. X. I definitely really dug X.
Yep.
I liked Barbarian.
Yeah.
I didn't love it.
Wow, both of you. Wait, both of you just kind of liked it?
It's weird. It's
so,
like,
and I only asked, I didn't see it, but like I heard people raving about it, saying like this is the best movie I've seen in a long time.
I don't know about you, but you say your feelings about it.
So, like the concept of the movie on paper, love it.
Yeah.
I loved the direction it was going in at first. Like I was totally in. As the movie kind of gets into like the middle, like the third act and stuff, I kind of just felt like there was so much left out. Like there was so much more I wanted, and it wasn't a bad movie. I had fun, but I just felt like it wrapped up so quick. Didn't give me any answers, didn't give me backstory on like why, what was going on really. It was just like, hey, this happened, okay, here you go. And I wanted more, like show me that stuff. I want to see like why did that happen, like, and it just kind of, I don't know, it was going so good, and then it wrapped up too quick for me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I feel the same way about it, you know. So because it was like certain things, like like she was saying, it follows a point, and then it stops, and then it doesn't explain itself more. It's like the door closes, and then it's just like, all right, I don't know. But overall, like it was kind of cool because I left the theater and I didn't know how to feel, and like I had told you that, Dave. And then like sometimes like when we go to the theater and we see movies like that, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. And it kind of gets you, it keeps you thinking like, okay. So that's why like at the same time, I'm like, I like it, but then it's just like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah. That's my absolute favorite is when you walk away and you're like, I honestly don't know if I liked that or not. And I'll tell you tomorrow. Because it means it made you think, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, that's happened with the Suspiria remake with us.
Yeah. We both looked at each other like, I have no idea. I'll tell you tomorrow.
I still didn't watch that, so I can't help you there.
That's why we called you here.
Oh no, this was a Suspiria. Oh no.
Come on.
What else you got on the list?
All right. Yeah. No more loves, but
okay,
maybe one more love. I really liked Hellraiser. I don't care what anyone says.
I'm with you. You.
I thought it was really awesome. Like, is it like the most amazing thing ever? No, but I love the design. I liked the pacing. I liked the way the story went, and everyone else can suck it.
And it was on Hulu. You don't have to pay $15 to go see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I was all about it.
Can't complain.
Take it or leave it. That's what it is.
I liked Black Phone.
Yeah.
It was super cool. I did like it. I wasn't like counting the minutes, like, is this over or anything. I didn't really care about the supernatural part of it, like, at all. I was just like, okay.
I actually completely agree with that. If they took that out, I would have thought it was a way more solid film.
Yeah.
I wish that we can get like a uncut version where you can actually see the kids die. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like,
oh yeah, that would be so amazing.
Like, for real, like if it went that way, like you could see the kills, like it definitely.
Brandon, you're scaring me, bro. I want to see the kids die.
Hey, but it was
that's all I want from this movie.
I want to see him bury them.
It gave that to me, you know what I mean? So his father's movie when they ripped the arm off.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, you got a classic scene going on right behind you.
Yeah, I know.
Turn around.
I know it's coming.
Yes.
That's Jack Frost on the screen, the shower scene.
There we go.
There we go.
I liked Scream 5.
Yeah.
Didn't hate it, didn't love it. Same with like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. When we went to review it, we were like, is this movie good? And I'm like, no, not at all. And I'm like, but it was somehow fun. But
it was very
bad.
fun.
That was
very fun.
That movie, like the gore and everything like that. So it was cool. You know,
I had more fun at that than I had at Scream.
What, Texas Chainsaw?
I had more fun watching Texas Chainsaw than I had watching Scream.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Scream, like, I had fun with it. I felt like it was fun, like throwbacks and, you know, little things, but it also felt completely unnecessary. Like, if it didn't exist, I'd be fine. I think it ended perfectly in 4, and I think it should have just died with Wes, but Scream 6,
Scream 6 trailer with you being down close to New York and because you're over in Jersey, what do you feel about it going down that way?
Jason Takes Manhattan. Everybody wants to be Jason.
What do you think about Jason Takes Manhattan?
It's all right. It's kind of where we start dropping off.
I'll just leave it like that then. Nah, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Scream 6, but it is what it is. I think it was rushed, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, it's rushed. I mean, it's crazy, but whatever. We'll be talking about it for like months, and then we'll talk about what we thought about it for months, and then we'll never talk about it again.
There you go. Pearl. I don't really like it.
Yeah? Oh, you said you didn't like it?
Not really.
Yes, I'm on the same train as you then.
I think it was filmed good. It's not a bad movie. It was just nothing that I wanted. I feel like I thought we were gonna get a lot more of some other stuff and some story, and I feel like it focused way too much on just one part of the story, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
it's
like
over.
The Wizard of Oz, you know?
Yeah.
And so like it was cool, it was shot well, but like you said, I had gone into it just after seeing X, and you're just like, that movie's moving like 100 miles per hour, and then like Pearl slows down. And then so I guess the third movie that we're supposed to get from that is supposed to pick back up and kind of go with the same style as X, or a little bit better. So we'll see.
Okay. We'll see. So. Oh, Halloween Ends. What fucking garbage.
Favorite movie?
That movie sucked so bad.
Now, what did you
feel
think
like
about
I'm in the minority.
What did you think about the first 40 minutes of it, though? Oh, first 30. What did you think?
No. Like, the first, like, 4 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Okay, like, before the opening, like, title, I was like, all right, cool. And after that, I was like, wow, this sucks. And then I fell asleep, and then I was pissed because I had to watch it again. And I was like, great. But that was terrible, and I immediately apologized to Halloween Kills for being so mean after that.
But don't be, because Halloween Kills sucks also. So
it does, but at least Michael wasn't a bitch.
Yeah, he wasn't, but it just all didn't make any sense. I don't know. Even 2018. What did you think about the 2018 one?
So I kind of stopped watching it because I feel like the more I watch it, the more problems I find with it. And then I like it a little bit less, but I think it's definitely the strongest of the three movies. I tell everybody all the time, they completely messed up announcing that they were going to make Kills and Ends. They should have just announced Kills and then announced Ends, because then we already knew that nothing was going to happen in Kills and it's just a filler movie. It did what it said. There were a lot of kills, Jason, basically. And it just didn't make any sense. And I get, like, with Ends, they kind of tried to, you know, go the Season of the Witch route, but it just wasn't.
It was too late. You can't end a trilogy with going in a different direction like that. I don't know. It was too late. Like, the story was going on for too long, I think. But I'm not gonna lie, I wish they'd just done Halloween Ends in the first place.
Yes,
I enjoyed it. I know you didn't, and I
didn't enjoy it, but I can
understand. But I
think they could have just mashed. They could have, since it's the same night, they could have just mashed Kills and 2018 together, take out BS stuff that we don't need, and they could have made that one, and then they could have just did Ends, and we would have had that.
Yeah. Yep.
But
yep.
That movie sucks. I think that's like all I watched.
Yeah. Let's see.
Brandon, you got a few. Brandon, you got a few on your list that she didn't mention. Do you want to mention yours?
Did you see the Sadness that was on Shudder?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What did you think? I
loved that movie. That was so
crazy, right? So I think that, like, the Sadness and Terrifier 2 definitely kind of set the tone for a lot of movies this year. So those are going to be like some of the goriest movies that I have seen in a while. So, like, I can't wait to kind of see that style kind of pick up now, because I was talking to you, Dave. We kind of talked about it before, because it's like, we're gonna look at it now, like films that we watched before, like Friday the 13th and shit. There was like kills happening, and then the screen cuts away. You know what I mean? And then now it's just like the shit that was happening in Terrifier 2. Like, imagine when our kids, my kids are my age, like how fucking crazy like the horror fucking films are gonna be. It's
gonna be like playing with bodies for hours in movies and stuff like that after the kills in Terrifier 2.
Yeah, that show was nuts.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so good.
Let's see. And there was like one more film that I kind of liked that you didn't have, because it was like out of nowhere, but Studio 666. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. It's on. I made a separate list of things that I didn't get to watch yet, and it is on that list. I didn't get to watch it.
Yeah, it wasn't like the greatest film or anything like that, but like I enjoyed it. So I thought kind of everything's kind of like set the tone, like, for Jenna Ortega, like, to be like the Scream Queen, like one of the new ones. And so she was in that film. So let's see. We had the same movies that sucked was Halloween. And then I heard like Jeepers Creepers, like Reborn, like that was terrible.
Yeah, I put that on the sad list over here, where the don't even
Did
bother.
Did you watch it?
No, like that's the sad don't bother, but it came out.
It was the same thing with me. It's streaming, and they want, I'm not paying any money for that. So it's like, I can't bring myself to it, because the first and the second one were great movies, but the third one, that was like a sci-fi original, and then I just kind of lost respect for that whole franchise. And so it's just, now you see this one, when I seen the trailer to Jeepers Creepers Reborn, I was like, that looks decent, but then I'm just like, I still don't trust it. So
yeah, I didn't hear one good thing about it, so I was like, okay, no.
We'll watch it in a year and say, oh man, I totally missed this one, this gem.
It's a fucking hidden gem.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my list. I think we had the same movies that we liked. So
you guys had a lot of the same ones. I got a few that you guys didn't have and you probably didn't like. Here we go. I put The Hatching on my list just because it was so unique. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of like a fairy tale, weird vibes to it. I really like that one. Another one that is like kind of went straight to streaming was Nocebo. That just recently was on Shudder, but it's like, I don't know. I just thought it was really well done and kind of psychological. VHS 99. I really, really love that one because I love those VHS films. and it was fucking nuts. It really was. It was
Yeah.
bonkers. That movie was bonkers.
The lady that was in fuck, what's his name? That the Flying Lotus,
Yeah.
the mom,
Yeah. Yeah.
passed away the other day.
Oh man.
So
Wow.
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. That segment is
That
like
was
the
top.
most nuts.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I had Hellraiser. I think there's probably 2 lists that include Hellraiser as their favorites, and we're the 2 lists here. So that's probably on no one else's list.
Probably not.
I had a couple honorable mentions. The Runner, which is that Boy Harsher film that they did.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching that. I watched it a couple of times actually. It's like quick. What is it, like 25 minutes? Not even.
Nah, it's a little bit longer than that.
Is it a little longer? But it
Yeah.
feels like it goes fast because it's mostly like music based, and it just
Yep.
the pacing's really good. My other honorable mention is Halloween Ends.
Oh.
As I lose respect.
Oh. Okay.
No, I'm saying you guys lose respect from me.
No, I still respect you. It's fine because you like what you like. You know what I mean?
No,
That's
and I said it. I said this since I watched it. I actually was like, this kid's story is kind of cool. I could like see them like taking the story with him. I hate the end. The last 15 minutes just ruined it for me. Had they just kept him alive and he could have been evil personified, like going down the road. Don't even bring Michael into the end. I would have been I thought it could have been a totally different movie and would have been so much better. Had so much more potential, but whatever. They took the route they did. I get it. I get why they did it, but it sucks.
well, now to do The Exorcist.
Yeah. So I don't really have any like sucks list. I was thinking about it. It's like I mean I saw some movies that suck, but like I don't know that I saw ones that were 2022 that suck. And the ones you mentioned I didn't see other than Halloween Ends, which I liked. So yeah, I don't know. That's it for me. I'm done.
You're done. I put let's see. I didn't even bother with Monsters. We're not.
Oh, that's actually, I'm glad you said that. I forgot about that one. I watched like 20 minutes and I was not for me. No.
Yeah,
I can't do it. I love Monsters too much. I'm like, no.
No. Yeah. No. Nope. That was a shut off. And I rarely shut things off too. I usually make it to the end. I could not.
I made like 10 minutes.
I didn't bother with Smile either.
Smile, you didn't like it?
I didn't even bother watching it.
Oh no,
I had really piqued my interest.
I had that on my list, but did you like It Follows?
I do.
If you do, you're gonna like Smile.
Okay, maybe.
So I didn't see Smile either, and I keep hearing how good it was, and that's on my list.
I had it on my list, but I just didn't even read it. But I seen it in the theater. It has definitely a lot of good jump scares, and it's the same style as It Follows. So that's what kind of like makes me respect it a little bit more. And so like the story is actually good too. So it's streaming on Peacock or
Paramount Plus.
One of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also streaming on Paramount Plus, which I didn't get around to, but I don't know if you guys watched it. The Orphan Next of Kin or whatever.
Was
it good?
Here's the thing. Look, right. So it was like the same thing. I think we talked about it a few episodes ago. And like I said, I skipped it and fuck with it. I turned it on the other day because I'm like, all right, we're gonna do this episode. Let me start fucking watching it. And it's actually decent. It's not bad. And so I gotta finish it. I probably have like 25 minutes left. So from what I've seen, it's not bad.
Okay.
So did you like the first one? Did you guys like the first one?
I haven't even seen the first one. I was gonna binge both of them.
The first one.
All right. So I feel as though it's on the same kind of pace as like the first one. So it's like I said again, it's streaming, so it's not like you had to pay for anything for it, but it's not bad from what I've seen. But like I said, I still got 25 minutes left, so I can't let that kind of like judge like everything because that movie can kind of go downhill from where I left off. But from what I've seen, it's not bad.
And just so everyone's aware, the Nutcracker Massacre is streaming on Tubi, and it is not good. All right.
With a title like that.
I know. I was like, this is gonna be great, and you know, the poster is like the face of like an angry nutcracker.
Oh
not,
man,
not good. Wow, I just actually trashed a movie. I guess I do give bad reviews once in a while.
Look at that. You can do it.
Yeah, it sucks. No, I didn't suck that bad. I'm sorry. No.
So yeah.
All right. Does that wrap up our year ender?
Yeah.
I think
Do you have any other to talk about, or what do you got on that? The Notebook, is that complete?
On the Notebook? Yeah, the other ones I didn't watch at all yet. But I wrote them down. I didn't watch The Invitation. I didn't watch Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I still haven't watched Prey. I didn't watch Bones and All yet. I didn't watch Pray for the Devil. I didn't watch The Watcher yet, but I want to watch that movie. I was gonna watch Goodnight Mommy, even though I know it probably is gonna suck. That other movie coming out, Piggy, looks kind of interesting. Nanny and Bitch Ass.
Yeah. Goodnight Mommy is probably going to disappoint just because every time they remake a really good foreign film, they never do it justice. So like, why bother?
No.
It's like when they did Martyrs or, you know, something like that. It's like, what's the point? Or Inside. Yeah. I just thought of this. Do you live near the Watcher house from that Netflix show? The Watcher?
I do, actually.
You do? Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Is it spooky to drive by?
I've never driven by it. My coworkers were telling me today that like I guess that people are apparently getting like pissed because everyone's like going by the house now.
Oh, I can only imagine.
And then we were cracking up because I saw this meme that was like the Watcher would never get me because I never open my mail, and I was like, absolutely.
See, we have the same thing down here because what is it? The house from
Conjuring, yeah.
The Conjuring is like probably like 20 minutes away from me. Like,
nice.
probably same as you.
Yeah.
So people kind of like disrespect people. Like I know that the lady that lived there before, people would just kind of like just go right into the house and shit like that. And so I think she ended up selling it. She sold it and into like a ghost investigator guy, paranormal guy, and then he started kind of renting it out and trying to like do little things. But I guess that business isn't working out. So
well, I mean, look at the Amityville Horror House. They actually like changed the windows and they changed the house number just to get people to leave them alone.
Yeah.
They did.
Disrespect.
But I seen Bodies, and
no, I mean it looks silly.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was okay. It was nothing crazy.
Aren't you a huge Pete Davidson fan? No. Oh.
The King of Staten Island.
Yeah.
God.
Nah. It was okay. It wasn't anything crazy. Like there's like a little twist at the end, but just kind of just whatever. Like take it or leave. I want to watch it again. So I heard some people like it. So, but it's I think it's made for like this younger crowd of kids. So, you know, my kids watched it and they didn't. My kids are like into horror, so but they just thought like it was okay too. It was nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. So.
It's hard to be old and like horror still.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what else? You know, so like we said, like everything with social media. Can you tell our listeners how they can find you, how they can follow you, and listen to your podcast?
I always feel weird doing that. I'm always like, hey, if you want it, man, go ahead. And if you don't, that's cool. But yeah, I'm the Horror Queen with 2 N's on everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
All things.
All things. Xbox, Instagram.
Oh yeah. Shit. Fucking. We got a game soon because I added you a while ago, but we have to. I don't know what games are you playing now. Are you still playing? What's that fucking game? It's kind of like the Jason game.
Yeah, I don't. Dead by Daylight, I definitely play.
Yeah. But fucking Gun Media, they're coming out with Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, when's that coming out? I'll get back into games.
I gotta hit them up. So I need to hit him up because he told me he was gonna come on and talk. So they hooked me up with some passes and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I might get the game before it stops. But
yeah, we got that. We got Dead Space coming out.
yeah.
It was a new one, a new space one. What was it? Calypto or something like that?
Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
It's not getting good reviews. People just want the Dead. It's made by the same developers that made Dead Space, but they're just saying like the way that the controls of the game, like the guy feels a little bit too heavy, but
it's a bit buggy still.
Yeah, so a few more patches and then I'll get it like when it's on sale or something. So because I'm still playing Evil West. Have you played that game yet?
No.
Yo, so if you like the old school like Xbox games that's just like shooters and shit like that, it's called Evil West. It's a horror game, so it's more like a vampire western game. So I had just picked that up. That came out in November. So I finished God of War and then picked that up. And so definitely check that game out. Horror fans will like it. A western.
Oh man, what was that other game that came out?
Horror?
Yeah.
The
Quarry? Man. Yes, The Quarry.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
Good. It was so good.
You like that?
I had so much fun with it.
See, the thing is, I like Until Dawn much better than that.
Until Dawn is great. I do love that. I love Wendigo, so like that's like tops. So but I also love summer camp stuff. So like,
so that's the thing for me. Like I'm like stuck on that. But this, I don't know. It seems like you don't have a lot of control over The Quarry. It's more of a movie, you know. And so it's like that's to me. I want to sit there and kind of like go through everything and kind of have full control. I know are you into Resident Evil?
Yeah.
I know they came out with the patch and everything, so you can see it in like first person now, or third person? Mm-hmm. So it's not bad. I know they have that. And then they're doing the remake of Resident Evil 4. Which I want to do that because that's the only one I didn't beat. But like that's the thing, you have some people and they say Resident Evil 4 is like the best Resident Evil game, and it's like, to me, I'm like, nah, I like the first and the second one. Nah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those shits, but yeah, definitely when Texas Chainsaw Massacre comes out, I think all three of us need to kind of hop on there and
sounds good.
You know. So
all right. So that is going to wrap up this year ender. It's also, I know, Brandon, I don't know if you mentioned this at the beginning. So we're going to wrap up our prolonged season 2 of the podcast, which was like the longest season ever. I think it was like 2 years. So we actually haven't taken a break from an episode in like a very long time. So we're going to take a few weeks off, regroup, revamp, and be back sometime, maybe late January or something like that. So hope everybody enjoyed this. Hope you guys liked or I don't give a shit if you liked them, but hopefully you listened to our best and worst of 2022s and our holiday fearless. And yeah, have a great night, everybody. See you later.